Warren, it's always a pleasure evaluating you. I'd like to take an extra second and let's celebrate Warren again for that speech. It is really hard to dive deep in front of people and talk about personal topics, and when it comes to aging, I don't know about you guys, but I've heard a lot of sad speeches. People tend to go to the dark side and they talk about getting old and there's nothing left to do. And what I loved about your speech, Warren, is you just breathe life into it. You're ready to rock your next 80s decade. You're positive. He gave us suggestions on how we can all plan for the future. In his first speech, as he mentioned on YouTube, if you didn't see it, I recommend you watching it. He talked about the difference between important versus urgent. And that struck both Mara and I, because as a small business owner, you've got everything on your desk and you're like, oh my gosh, it's all due today. And then you just kind of take a deep breath and say, okay, what's important and what's urgent? And after your speech, Warren, I actually took Post-its and put important and urgent and put them right on my desk as a great reminder. He also talked about sharpening the saw. That is probably the most important thing you said, because as we get older, it's easy for us to get comfortable. We go to the same groups, the same clubs, we reread the same books, but Warren is really a great cheerleader, as he said, to get us to think about what new things can you do? What new groups can you support? What books can you read? He also talked about harmony and synergy. And I think our club is a great example of that. Whenever a senior speaker speaks, all of us kind of get that little flutter in our heart because we synergize with it. We know each other so well and we appreciate the information coming. And Warren, you do a fantastic job of summarizing your points and bringing it home and giving us actionable items we can all work on. The only suggestion I have is maybe a more humorous story, because the topic is a little heavy. I loved in your first speech where you talked about putting your wife in your day planner, then you got busted for it. So that would have been another story like that to kind of lighten the mood, because we are talking about aging. But otherwise, I love how you ended on love the journey you're on. When I had cancer, it struck me hard because I was not loving that journey, and it took one of my best friends to pull me off the couch and say, this is it, kid. You need to get off the couch sooner and get out of those sweats sooner, because life and the journey isn't stopping. Appreciate where you are, mourn if you need to, but move on and live your life. Every day is a gift, and Warren's a great example of that. And the last few things that struck me, you talked about spirit and being a cheerleader for your family. I think it's important to let other people take the roles of holidays and have your kids build their own traditions, And we're trying to do that in Toastmasters, asking you all to take the next officer roles. And Warren's been just an incredible member, and I appreciate you so much, Warren. Thank you.